Ooh, there's nobody here and there's an empty ramp. This can only mean one thing for me. It's time to mess with an MX5 again. An MX5 on the ramp. Now, we do know I have an oil filter to fit, but that's not going to form a whole episode, is it? Last time we discussed this car, we did Forest Burn. Now, it was an interesting start to the year, but given my drive to get a top 3 podium in this year's championship, we didn't do very well. In fact, we did terrible. We actually finished 11th. Now, we'll stipulate there was 2 clubs worth in there, so, you know, there's an aggregate and we're probably going to be a wee bit higher on that. Plus the points that you gain at Forest Burn are only worth half for our Native Sporting Car Club Championship, so, I mean, it was a throwaway, but it's still a good punctuation mark. This car is not perfect, and it really needs to be if it's going to be competitive. And yes, I did say we're not changing anything, we're just going to get used to the car, but we are going to change something. How many times on this channel have I said something and then instantly reneged on it? What I've decided is, finally, a good set of dampers is a worthwhile investment. Since Forest Burn, there's clunking coming from the back. The gases that we replaced the terrible, terrible coilovers with are okay, but they're using standard MX5 top mounts. Now, if I was to run a specific series, that's a good thing. Sometimes the regs stipulate you must use the standard top mounts, but what I'm in, I don't have to. So we can pretty much dispose of these if I'm being honest. Well, I'll sell them, obviously, but we are replacing them with known good, brand new dampers, finally. So that's going to be step 1, but, well, step 2, because step 1 is going to be something else. I did consider going all out and buying really, really wild dampers, but I thought if I was to reduce and get middle of the road dampers, the budget left to me opens up some avenues. How many bits of suspension mods can I do to improve this car for the price of a good set of dampers? Let's find out. There's not really a lot of debate left on what the first mod's going to be. Obviously I'm changing the anti-roll bars in this, front and rear, to see if we can stiffen it up and possibly dial out some of the understeer that we're facing. I am retaining the anti-roll bar drop links, but not for long. These are not in good condition, but they are stiff and they're functional, so they'll do for the moment. We'll maybe look at some proper tools and track engineered solutions in a wee while. Because remember, I cannot cut this thing, throw it and leave it in a ramp. We've actually got a rare blessing where I've got this ramp to myself for an evening. So try and get as much done as possible. We'll just fire these back on. So what have I bought? That's really what we're here for. When it comes to anti-roll bars, it's not just a case of who's the industry leader. Whiteline are basically the industry. So total no-brainer. And in the absence of any platform share that we could pinch anti-roll bars off, we need to just go with the good stuff. So you'll be pleased to hear I did that. So unboxing 101. This is interesting. Had I thought with it being called Whiteline they'd be white. These are silver. I'm not complaining. I'm not a fan of really garish looking modified suspension components. Yeah, this will be the back. So this looks more or less exactly the same as what I've just removed. How much of an improvement is it though? Well, as if there was going to be any doubt that it was going to be worse, here is the standard. And here's the Whiteline job. Considerably thicker. The thicker it is, the stiffer it will be, the less it will deflect, and the more anti-roll barring it will do. Standards are 11.5, and these are 16mm. That's some chonk. Of course, being thicker, that means that it's also going to need wider anti-roll bar mounts. The polyurethane jobs that attach it to the car, thankfully they come with it. So here's a review nobody's going to need. Decided to go with Mazda R's. Everyone says they're good. MX5 circles particularly hold them in quite high regard. So nice middle of the road. Naturally, we could have went with Tines, but for the same spec that these come in, I would not have been able to afford white lines. So no brainer really, wasn't it? Let's see what these look like. I don't think so. Oh, these actually come with fitting instructions. Or do they? Do they though? Are these how to adjust right height? That's good. More than you get with other coilovers. The big question though is, how do they look? I'm liking this. So this is always absent, or at least has been on the coilovers whose name we shall not speak, and if I'm being honest, the gas ones. The NB MX5 needs this turret length. It's got to have a shock with this much travel. Most of the coilovers you seem to get that are cheap won't have that designed in it. Now, the problem with that is it means that the actual shock travels shorter, which means the spring travels shorter, and it just doesn't ride right. This is good. I mean, case in point, spot the difference. This is needed. I have had so many bouncy back end problems that I was hoping the pictures weren't going to tell a lie, and thankfully what they've delivered is what I was hoping to see. I'm going to do a quick side by side on the gases. I want more height on the back and the front, if I'm being honest. So if these are at least taller, we'll chuck them on and see where they sit.
Two tabs on your tongue. I heard the shepherds, I heard the sheep sleep, now my only one. Broken sweethearts, who sleep apart. Most of mine, hillside spines, who sleeps out. To pose, now shush. She makes the sound she makes to calm me down. So slowly, you're so thin.
It's quite wet, so I can't really demonstrate the ride height, but we are sitting an inch higher, which is good. As much as it looks good low, I need height to do cornering. Simple as that. So white lines are on. The decent set of dampers, which are the worthwhile investment, are also on. All that's left to do, let's race. wind is too high, the courses are changing, so there's an A run and a B run, and we are doing A run, then B run, then A run, then B run. I'm going to skip to the bit where we all want to know I'm not winning this. I keep getting lost, I'm getting time penalties everywhere. I can't film it because the weather is horizontal rain and wind. So I think what we'll do is skip this auto test and go to something a little bit different. Okay, I didn't film a lot of that. Weather was a big hampener, but I've also discovered something else. The more I'm trying to focus and getting camera set up and do things on an event like an auto solo plus a shootout, which we're swapping courses every single time we're doing a run, it was getting quite confusing. I was doing wrong directions in the first 2 runs. I just had to focus. So the benefit of doing that is out of 40 entries that we had, I finished 4th. 4th in the shootout, which was quite good, so that was the head-to-head sort of eliminator, and 4th in the auto solo. So the dampers have definitely made the difference. The not filming and actually paying attention has also made a difference. But I've cut this short because we've done a lot of auto solo, we'll still do a lot of auto solo, but really the big thing that's coming next, we're going to go and have a try at hill climbing sprint. So I've been building up to this for a few weeks now. I've got my helmet, I've got my gloves, we're going to get the rest of the stuff. I'm going to make sure my car is ready for this in the next episode, and we're going to try a track called Kames, which is based in South Ayrshire. Might actually be East Ayrshire, don't know. Anyway, it's fundamentally a sprint track, so stay tuned. Still to come, we're going to do lots more of an interesting motorsport, so that's definitely going to be worth a sub. Hit the button below. If you're enjoying this, it's definitely worth a share. Hit the button below. And if you're really into it, patreon.com/toolsandtrack. That's how we kind of make time and fund a lot of all this sort of stuff. So yeah, exciting things to come. And until next weekend, guys, drive safe.